Okay. Yeah, guys, we are going to deal with this sum now, right? So we are going to deal with this sum, right? Two poles of equal height are standing on opposite side of the road, on either side, which is 150 feet wide. From a point between them on the road, angle of elevation to the tops are 60 degrees and 30 degrees. Find the height of the pole and distance between the points from the pole. Right, guys, if you observe this one, right, the objects present in this question, key objects, what are the key objects present here is nothing but road, horizontal object, right? Horizontal object is nothing but the road. Yes, horizontal object is nothing but the road. Vertical object are nothing but the two poles. Yes, right. Vertical. Now slant objects, right? So slant objects, we don't have any rope, we don't have any thread, we don't have any something like that, ladder. No horizontal object there. We don't have any horizontal object there, right? Okay. So slant object, we don't have any. Therefore, instead of slant object, we take angle of elevation. Angle of elevation, right? Angle of elevation, that too imaginary line. You have to remember this one. Right. That is what. Before entering into the question, what are the key objects? Right. Horizontal object, we are having road. Fine. Vertical objects, we are having two poles. Right. And we don't have any ladder, rope, or something like a thread. So we don't have any slant object. So, but here slant object is nothing but the angle of elevation, line of sight. Therefore, we are going to take in terms of imaginary line. Okay, so let's draw the figure according to the basic construction what he has given. Right, what he said, let's go with the road now. Let's go with the road. So I'm drawing the road here. I'm drawing with the road here. Yes, I like to take the road here. Actually, the road is an extended path. Road is an extended path which is moving as it is, what do we call, 3D shape one. I can't draw it actually. So this is nothing but the road what we are having. This is nothing but the road. Okay, now I like to take the road, right? As it is not possible for me to draw, I like to take A as one end of the road and I like to take B as other end of the road. And here width of the road is not mentioned for us. Width of the road which we need to find, I like to take width of the road as W. Yes. This is nothing but the road. Of course, road is an extended thing. It's a lengthy process. Right, but we can't draw it's a 3D shape. Therefore, I'm going with an imaginary path saying that yes, this is the road. Right, so but we have two ends of the roads. Therefore, I'm calling A as first end of the road and B as second end of the road. And I'm considering the width of the road as W. Let's introduce the topic. Right, width of the road. Width of the road. Right, we are taking the width of the road. We labeled it as AB, and as we don't know, we are calling it as width as a W. We labeled it with a small letter. Magnitude, we are taking it W meters. Fine, that is the first point. Next, what are the two? First means I am done with the horizontal object. I am done with the horizontal object. Now let's go for the other one, vertical objects. Vertical objects, which are the two vertical objects he has given? The two poles. But here, if you check it out, what he says, two poles of equal height. Yes, the two poles he has given which are standing on the opposite side of each other. Right. So on the road we are having two ends. On the first end we are having the first pole and the second end we are having the other pole. All right, and here he has given that he is nothing but something like what he said, equal height. Now we have missed out one more thing. right, which is 120 feet wide. He has given the width of the road as 120 feet. We labeled as W, and the magnitude is given as 120 feet. Yes, we missed out that. Now I'm figuring that. So width of the road AB, we labeled it as W, right? And the width is given it as 120 feet. Now here we are taking two poles. Let's make them stand two poles. We are making them to stand two poles. Yes, I'm going with right. Okay, I like to take the vertical object as the first pole, and the second object, no, I don't want to take it here, right? I want to take somewhere which is on vertically on that. Okay, so I'm taking the vertical two poles. Yes, I'm taking two poles now. So I like to label it as, right, this and this. Okay, now let's start labeling that. So AC is the first pole and BD is the second pole. So let's take this as pole 1 and let's take this as pole 2. But what he said, they both are of equal height and he didn't give us the height for us. Okay. So height of the first pole, H meters, height of the second pole, H meters. Let's go for the light sentence now. Height of, right, height of first pole. First pole, let us take this one as, we are taking the first pole as AC, right? So we are taking it as H meters, 0.1, and the next one, height of second pole. Height of second pole. So we are taking the second pole, we labeled it as BD, and it is also H meters. That is what he has given. Okay, now what is the next part? From a point between the road, guys, he has taken a point between the road. We have to remember, he did not say exactly in the middle. He did not say in the center of the road. He said just between. So it may be closed. It is between the first pole and the second pole, but it did not say exactly in the middle. It may be close to the first pole or it may be close to the second pole. We don't know that. Therefore, it is not mandatory we should take it exactly in the middle. And if you check the angle also, angle of elevations, one is 60, one is 30. If it is exactly in the middle, probably it might be making equal angles. Why? Because heights are equal. If angles are equal, then it might be exactly in the middle. But here, one is 60 degrees, one is 30 degrees. Okay, for the first pole, it is 60 degrees, and the second pole, it is 30 degrees. But we know that one. If angle increases, distance decreases. That is the logic what we need. So, towards 60 degrees, wherever the pole, it is going towards the first pole. Right? So if angle is more, distance should be less. So logically, what shall we plan? Logically, let's plan in the way, let's keep close to the pole 1. Why? Because it is 60 degrees there. If the angle is more, distance should be less. Therefore, I'm keeping the point somewhere close to the pole 1. Right? So let's label it 1. Point of observation. Point of observation. Point of observation, where it is between the two poles, right? So what we are taking, A, B, C, D, let's take the point as E, right? Let's take the point as E now. Yes, where is the point of observation between the two poles? Let us take it as E. Right. Now what he says, the angle of elevation to the first pole is 60 degrees and angle of elevation to the second pole is nothing but, what he said, 30 degrees. So let's go for the angle of elevation. Angle of elevation. So angle of elevation to the first pole, he said something like 60 degrees, and angle of elevation to the second pole, he said it is nothing but 30 degrees, right? As we all know, angle means we need a horizontal ray and a slant ray. Right, but now as it is some it is not a what we call, it is not a rope or it is not a ladder or something like that. It's better for us if you take a imaginary path. It's better for us if you take a imaginary path. So let's to show that one, yes, it is an imaginary path. Let's draw imaginary path, dotted line. In the same way, let's go somewhere to make it clear that it is not a ladder or a fixed object, just it's a path, line passing through the eye of the observer or line of sight. Okay, now what is said, now we are dealing with the angles there. Angle to the first pole, it is nothing but 60 degrees. Angle of elevation is more. And for the second pole, angle of elevation is less, that is 30 degrees. We know the relation. If angle is more, distance will be less. Now let's draw this one. Angle of elevation of first pole. Angle of elevation of first pole, I like to take it as AEC is equal to 60 degrees. And the next one, angle of elevation of second pole, right? I like to take it as B, E, and D is equal to 30 degrees. Yes, yes. Till here, we are damn sure what we got it. So whatever is there in the question, we are done. Now, let's think logically now. How many angles are there? 2 angles are there. How many right angle triangles are there? Let me show you clearly. Right. How many angles are there? One is 30 and one is 60. Now, how many right angle triangles are there? There are 2 right angle triangles are there. But how many variables are there? Right? We are having only one variable, that is nothing but h. Right? We don't have the second variable. When we have 2 angles, 2 right angle triangles, when we need to solve, it's better we should have 2 variables. So we are, though we are having h, right, 2 times we are having h, but we don't have 2 variables. Why? Because he said both are of equal height. We need one more variable which can connect both of the triangles to solve it. So that's the logical thing you have to remember. To connect that one, I like to go in a tricky manner. I like to take the distance from A to E. I like to take the distance from A to E as x meters. I like to assume that. Then obviously the distance from E to B will become 120 minus x. Why? Because the total measurement of the road is 120. Just now we got it. So if you take one part as x, the other part will become as 120 minus x. So what I have done, I have taken the second variable and I have given connection between, right, both the triangles. X is there in the small triangle and x is also present in the second triangle, second right angle triangle. That is the logical way of dealing with the sum. So let's go, let's assume the 2 angles there. So what is the first variable what we have? It's nothing but the x. Now we are going, let's assume that. Right. Okay. Distance between, right. Let distance between AE is equal to x meters, right? Then distance between from where to where? E to B. What does it become? AB minus AE. Right? AB, how much we have AB? AB is nothing but 120. And just now we got AE as X. Now keep it in the bracket and you call it as 120. EB is nothing but 120 minus X. Right? So we have taken all the topics. We have connected both the triangles. Now let's work on the sums now. Let's take individually. Let's start working on that one now. So let's go for that one. So let's take the first triangle, right? Consider, from triangle, I'm taking the smaller part. I'm taking the smaller triangle. ACE, I'm taking the smaller triangle, right? From there onwards, I like to construct the parts, right? Okay, yes. I'm taking the smaller triangle. Okay, so I have taken the smaller triangle now, right? I started labeling it. I made it a perfect triangle. It's a right angle triangle, as we all know. Let's go for this one now. So this is C, as we all know. This is E, and this is A, and here it is 90 degrees. Yes, we all know it as H, and we took this as X, and the angle of elevation is nothing but 60 degrees. We start covering from there onwards. So in triangle ACE, angle A is equal to 90 degrees, that we all know, right? Colon, and angle E is equal to 60 degrees. Yes, he has given. And we know ACV is nothing but from 60 degrees, that is nothing but the opposite side. It's nothing but opposite side. AC is equal to opposite side of 60, and it is nothing but H meters. And right, the one X, it's nothing but adjacent side, right? So what is that one? AE is equal to adjacent side, right? And we got the value of X meters. Now, which are the two sides we are working on? We are working on opposite side and adjacent side. Now, what is the trig ratio which is connecting on the opposite and adjacent? It's obviously, it's nothing but tan theta. Consider tan theta. So tan theta is nothing but opposite by adjacent. Now let's substitute the values there. What is the tan value? Tan 60 is equal to opposite what we have, H, and adjacent what we have, X. All right. Now let us substitute the values here. What is tan 60? It's nothing but √3. Right. √3 is equal to H by X. Wantedly, I want to isolate for one of the variables. Here we are having two variables, H and X. So I want to isolate for any one of the variable, a variable which is present or same in both the triangles. So which is the variable present in both the triangles and of equal measurement? It's nothing but the H. So I want to isolate the sum for H here, right? If I cross this X, it will become √3 into X is equal to H. Obviously, H is equal to X √3. I like to call it as equation 1. Yes, I took the first triangle and I got it isolated as H is equal to √3, right? So what is the topic what we got there? So H is equal to X √3 is the thing what we got. Now let us go for the next triangle. Let's go for the next triangle. Let us start constructing from there onwards. Yes, I took it as the other triangle, which is probably the bigger one, right? From the earlier, right? So let us label it as, so it's nothing but BDE. Let's go for that BDE. Here we are having B, right? Here we are having G, and here we are having E, and it is 90 degrees here. Obviously H meters, and the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. But here the point is 120 minus X. This is the other triangle. Okay, in triangle, what is the name of the triangle here? BDE. Okay, angle D is equal to 90 degrees. Yes, that is the first point. And angle E is equal to 30 degrees. Yes, we got that one. Now, what are the things we know? Right, it's nothing but opposite side of 30 degrees. And the other thing what we know is nothing but adjacent side of 30 degrees. Okay, so right, what is becoming opposite side, which is the opposite side here? Opposite side is nothing but BD, right, which is nothing but H, and adjacent side is nothing but ED, which is nothing but 120 minus X. Now, what is the trig ratio which is connecting opposite and adjacent? Obviously tan. So consider tan theta. Tan theta is nothing but opposite by adjacent. Now let us substitute the values there. So tan, what is the angle given to us? It's nothing but tan 30 degrees. If you go for the label, it's nothing but BD by ED. Okay, now let us substitute the values there. Let us substitute the values there. Okay, let us substitute the values. Okay, we know tan 30 is nothing but 1 by root 3. We should be perfect at that. BD is nothing but H and ED value is nothing but 120 minus X. So what we done in the first triangle? We have isolated it to H, the easiest variable which is present in both the triangles and equal in both the triangles. Here also H is there, but whenever we cross it, right, keep it in a bracket. So what we are having, 120 minus X whole divided by 3 equals H. Therefore, H equals 120 minus X by root 3. I like to call it as second equation. Okay, so what we got the first equation, if you check it out, first equation you got it a H equal to X root 3, right? And in the second equation, what we got? From equation 1 and 2, what is first equation, Nana? H is equal to X root 3, right? Second equation, what we got? H is equal to 120 minus X by root 3. All right, if you check it out, in both the equation, both the same H and H. Therefore, remove that H and write only these two answers there. That is what we are having. X root 3 is equal to, right? We are eliminating, that is from equation 1 and 2, by solving, by cancelling the equal thing, we got X root 3 is equal to 120 minus X whole divided by root 3. Okay, now if you check it out, earlier we are having two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Now by cancelling that H, we got only one equation, means we are having only 1 is equal to symbol. And if you check it out, what is the only variable present there? Variable is only X. Whereas is equal to is only 1. Therefore, it's only one equation. Let us solve it, right? And solve it for X. Let's cross this one root 3 to the left side. Then what it will become? X root 3 into root 3 is equal to 120 minus X. Now, root 3 into root 3, you have to remember it is nothing but 3. So, X into 3 is equal to 120 minus X, which is nothing but 3X is equal to 120 minus X. So we are isolating for X here. Keep all the X to one side. I am sending minus X to the other side. What does it become? 3X plus X is equal to 120. So 3X plus 1X, totally 4X is equal to 120. And X is equal to, here 4 is multiplying. If it goes to other side, divides. 120 by 4. If you cancel it, it's nothing but X is equal to 30 meters. Okay, we got the value of X. But please remember, he didn't ask you what's the value of X. X is the variable which we have taken. He didn't give us. Okay, Nana, by taking the help of this X, let's substitute in all the equations and figure it out. First point, right, what are the heights of the poles? And one more point, from where the point is, right? Is it exactly in the middle, right? Or how many meters away from the first pole and how many meters away from the second pole? Let's substitute that one. So that's what we are saying, right? So equation, substituting, right? What we got? X is equal to 30. Right, where shall we substitute? In equation 1. Right, so what is the first equation we have? Right, H is equal to X into root 3. Right, so what is the X value we got? It's nothing but 30 into root 3. Okay, 30 into, right, root 3, we know its the value is 1.732. Is it clear? Now take this, now I can write it as 3 into 10. 30 can be written as 3 into 10. So 1.732, right? Now I'm taking this 10 and I'm multiplying inside. then what will happen? The decimal place will jump one more point. It will go forward. That is 3 into 17.32. Right? Now let us multiply 3 inside. 3 2 6, 3 3 is 9, 3 7 21, 3 1 3, 51.96. I think I'm sure that. So what's the height of the pole? So height of the pole, right, comma h is equal to 51.96 meters. Fine, we got it, right? But he's not only asking the height of the pole, he is also asking us that the point which we took E, let us go for the question there. The point E, how far it is from the two poles. Now, just now, what is the X value we got? X value is nothing but 30 meters. Then means the point E is 30 meters away from the first pole, right? And the point E is 120 minus 30 meters away from the second pole. 120 minus 30 is nothing but 90 meters. That is what we have to, right? That make it clear. And right, point E or point E is, right, how many meters? X is equal to 30 meters. 30 meters away from, right, pole 1, that is first pole, and point E is, right, 120 minus 30. What is the meaning of 120 minus 30? It's nothing but, right, 90 meters away from second pole. Pole 2. So these are all the conclusions what we are making here. The first conclusion is this: height of the pole is, right, 51.96. And the second conclusion, the point E is 30 meters away from the first pole and 90 meters away from the second pole. This is the topic what we are having, right? Hope you all are able to understand the concept of what I said. Thank you.